Nobody becomes a millionaire by accident. And if they do, they can't sustain it. The truth is, the money that comes in only stays when you think like someone who's ready to receive it. And thinking like a millionaire is not about showing off. It's about mindset, decisions, invisible habits that shape the way you see the world, and yourself within it. For a long time, I thought what I was missing was strategy, but what I was really missing was positioning myself as someone already in control, changing my mental environment, clearing inherited patterns, creating rituals and decisions that, day after day, prepared me to sustain the life I claimed I wanted. In this video, I'm going to show you the 6 specific habits that made that happen. They're not cliché phrases or magical formulas. They're real, consistent actions that transformed my relationship with money and with myself. If this resonates with you, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because the content that starts now might be exactly what you needed to flip your internal switch. Habit 1. I stopped treating money like a problem and started treating it like an ally. For a long time, my relationship with money was a mix of fear, guilt, and tension. Anything involving money triggered anxiety. Checking my bank statement, talking about prices, thinking about the future, receiving, spending. It felt like money was this beast I had to control, or it would hurt me. And guess what? With that mindset, money never stayed. Because energetically, I treated it like an enemy, something that slipped away, that threatened me, that brought more headaches than peace. Until one day I heard this phrase, "You want to attract money, but you treat it like trauma." That was a turning point. I started asking myself, how do I talk about money? How do I feel when dealing with it? And the answer was clear, with resistance. That's when I changed. I started seeing money as a partner, someone who walks with me, helps me make things happen, needs clarity to arrive, and respect to stay. From that point on, I created a weekly routine to calmly and guiltlessly review my finances. I changed my language, from "I never have enough" to "I'm learning to manage better." I started treating every amount that came in with gratitude and direction. This habit might seem subtle, but it reorganizes everything. Because you stop fighting with money and start building with it. Quick break. Leave a comment below. How do you feel about money today? Be honest. Writing this might be the very first step in your reprogramming. Habit 2. I started making decisions based on what I want to build, not what I want to relieve. For many years, my decisions were based on a single question. What do I need to fix right now? Pay what was overdue. Buy what seemed urgent. Accept any opportunity that came up, just so I wouldn't miss out. And the pattern kept repeating. The month would end, the money would vanish, and I felt like nothing had truly moved forward. Until a mentor told me, every time you make a decision to relieve today's pain, you delay the life you want to build. It hit me like a punch, but it also set me free. That's when I realized, if you want real wealth, you need to start deciding based on vision. From then on, I created the habit of asking myself, does this choice fix or build? Does this bring me closer to the life I want? Or just calm me down for a few hours? What is this purchase decision feeding? My growth or my anxiety? This shift gave me clarity to say no to opportunities that looked good, but pulled me away from my path. Resist impulse spending and redirect money toward building real capital. Practice strategic patience. Let go of short-term gains to strengthen long-term consistency. Deciding based on the life you want, not the discomfort you want to escape, is a game changer. Because a wealthy woman doesn't live in reactive mode. She builds with intention. She knows where she is and where she's going, and she acts accordingly. Habit 3. I organized my environment to reflect the woman I wanted to become. For a long time, my financial life felt stuck, and I thought it was due to a lack of strategy, or just bad luck. But one day, while cleaning my house, I noticed something obvious and uncomfortable. Nothing in my environment reflected the woman I claimed I wanted to be. My desk was messy. My spreadsheet was abandoned. My phone was a mix of notifications, pointless group chats, and images that disconnected me from my vision. And my home? Full of things I kept just in case I needed them one day. That's when I realized you can't sustain wealth if you're surrounded by survival energy. So I did something simple, yet deeply transformative. I began to clean up my external world so it would align with my new identity. I eliminated everything that represented scarcity, emotional weight, or a past that no longer fit. I created a visually clean space where I felt powerful and productive. I did a digital cleanse, unfollowed accounts that made me doubt myself, and started consuming content that elevated my mindset. The result. It wasn't just more clarity. It was greater inner authority. Because every time I stepped into my space, the environment said, "You are under construction. You are in control. You already are." Millionaire women don't get distracted by environments that contradict what they want to live. They set the tone. They align the outer world with the inner one. And money, as an energetic reflection, responds. Habit 4. I stopped negotiating with what drains me and started protecting my energy as a financial asset. You can have the best plan, the best strategy, a good salary or a promising business. But if your energy is drained, nothing flows. And energy isn't just lost through overwork. It's drained by conversations that bring you down, people who constantly ask, criticize, or demand, activities you accept out of fear of saying no, content that empties you and triggers comparison, environments that make you shrink for a long time. I thought handling everything was a sign of strength. So I said yes to everything, replied to everyone, tried to be nice, available, present, and behind it all, exhaustion, anxiety, misalignment. Everything changed the moment I understood that my energy was my main prosperity resource. I stopped negotiating with what drained me, and I began protecting my energy with the same seriousness I used to protect my bank account. That meant silencing relationships that only take and never give, leaving cycles of other people's drama and urgency, making self-care routines a part of work, not a luxury, prioritizing what fuels me before trying to save the world. Millionaire women don't give away their energy at any cost, because they know that when energy drops, money stalls, not as punishment, but because you can't operate with clarity, decisiveness, vision, and courage, the 4 pillars of financial growth. Want to apply this habit? Do an energy inventory. What are the 3 behaviors or people that drain you the most today? What are the 3 simple rituals that recharge you the most? Then set a boundary, because every time you accept what depletes you, you're telling the universe, I'm not ready to grow. Habit 5. I started talking about money naturally, without shame, guilt, or taboo. For a long time, I talked about everything. Relationships, self-esteem, career, spirituality. But when it came to money, I froze. I thought it was tacky, thought it was rude to ask, arrogant to celebrate, or that I'd seem materialistic for taking the subject seriously. The result? I never asked how much other women were charging. I didn't negotiate my contracts properly. I shrank when talking about financial goals, and always left money as a topic for later, until one sentence flipped a switch in me. Money only goes where it feels welcome. That's when I understood. If I don't talk about money, I don't create space for it to show up. So I started doing the opposite, talking about pricing with clarity, asking about rates and benchmarks without awkwardness, sharing financial goals with safe people, celebrating wins with maturity, creating conversations with other women about wealth building, investing, and profit. The result was immediate. More confidence, more clarity, more opportunities. Because when you speak about money naturally, you show that you're emotionally prepared to handle it. You demonstrate leadership, you stop being a spectator, and become the protagonist. Millionaire women don't run from the topic. They study, discuss, and decide. And most of all, they don't treat money as a secret. They treat it as strategy. Habit 6. I started acting like I already was, even before seeing the result in my bank account. This was the turning point. As long as I was waiting for the money to come so I could start behaving like a prosperous woman, everything felt distant. The goals felt too big. The decisions felt heavy. And success was always someday. Until it clicked. Money doesn't transform you. You transform, and the money comes as a consequence. That's when I decided to start acting like the version of myself I wanted to become. Even without $1 million in the bank. Even while living in a simple place. Even while still managing debt. This doesn't mean going out and spending recklessly or faking a lifestyle. It means adopting the mental, emotional, and energetic behavior of the woman who already has what she wants. I ask myself, how does she start her day? How does she dress for work? What does she tolerate? And what does she no longer accept? How does she show up in meetings, partnerships, on social media? What decisions does she make with ease without asking for permission? And little by little, the internal shift became external. The tone of my voice changed. My prices went up. With confidence, I attracted higher-level partnerships. I started being seen as a reference, without having to force it. Why? Because I stopped waiting for external permission, and started leading from within. Millionaire women don't wait for the situation to change before changing their posture. They align with the frequency first, because they know the universe responds to internal authority, not to a bank balance. You don't become a millionaire when the money comes in. You become one when your mind stops operating in survival mode and starts leading in command mode. Today, you learned the 6 habits that changed everything for me. These habits aren't theoretical. They're real, practical, and consistent actions. And you can start today. Now comment below, which of these 6 habits will you activate first? Because when you declare it, you anchor it. And when you anchor it, your energy begins to shift. If this video brought you clarity, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with another woman who needs to change the way she thinks about money. Wealth starts inside, but it's sustained outside with habit, decision, and positioning. And the next one to live this could be you, but only if you start now.